The views expressed are solely those of the speaker and not necessarily those of Paltalk.com, AVM software, or its advertisers.
News Talk is online. News Talk Online, a production of Paltalk.com, the largest multimedia interactive program on the internet with more than 4 million unique users on demand on iTunes and on YouTube and on my blog, GaryBaumgarten.com, where you are encouraged to post your comments whether you agree with me or not. And, of course, whenever I write about politics, you either agree with me or not. And thanks to our friends at CRN Digital Talk Radio, we're syndicated to an additional 12 million households. I am your host, Gary Baumgarten. Welcome to the show. We're here to talk about two issues. We're going to get a damage report from Hurricane Ike, and we're going to get a damage report on the Obama campaign, which is damaged right now, in my opinion. Let's go back to our good friend James down in the Gulf of Texas, along the Texas shore there. The editor and publisher of Fishnet Daily News. He and his reporters have been, instead of reporting on the fishing conditions, reporting on conditions on land as a result of Hurricane Ike visiting there. James, welcome back to News Talk Online on Paltalk.com. What do you see going on down there now as the rescue effort is turned into a recovery and repair effort?
Well, thanks, Gary. You know, I'll tell you, it was a rather rough weekend for the people in the Galveston and Houston area. Now, being that I'm in San Antonio, ironically enough, we here locally got 0.0 inches of rain as a result of this storm, which is kind of, I was hoping for some rain, to be honest with you, but there's still 250,000 people that don't have electricity in the Houston area, and they probably won't for several weeks to come. Now, as far as the damage is concerned, you know, the storm was reported, less than what they expected to have experienced. But as you can tell from this brief slideshow here, you know, the damage was quite extensive, and it's going to take several months before these people have their lives completely and totally back in order. So while in San Antonio we didn't get any resulting rain or anything from the storm at all that's worth mentioning, obviously the folks in the Houston area are having a hard time right now. They really are.
And what's very interesting about Houston is that's where everybody usually evacuates to. It's on the evacuation route. They got hit, and the mayor just said the city is just too big to evacuate, and they decided everybody should hunker down. I understand, thankfully, in spite of that, the number of casualties have been fairly minimal.
Yeah, that's true. As far as casualties go that have been counted that I've heard on news reports thus far has been, you know, less than 25. There was over 1 million people who actually elected to leave the city of Houston, but being the fourth largest city in the United States, there's 6 million people there. And after a certain point in time, it's just virtually impossible to get everybody out. You know, there's just no time to get everybody out and down the road and gone in that period of time. So, you know, for that matter, I think there was somewhere in the neighborhood of 5,000 evacuees that came to San Antonio on the first night, and another 5,000 in other different Texas cities that were not in the direct line of the storm. But actually what they're anticipating is that as people try to return home, they will probably end up in some of these shelters that have been established in other places, simply because either the infrastructure isn't there for them to utilize yet, or the electricity isn't on, and in some cases, some people aren't even going to have a home. So, you know, as time goes by, I guess you know, the true effect of the damage will be felt.
And there are homes that have disappeared right from the face of the earth, especially on Galveston Island.
Yeah, that is absolutely true. And in some places of Galveston Island, there would be nothing more than one home standing where perhaps 1 or 200 did at some point in time. So there are several people who will be displaced and without homes for the foreseeable future.
Yeah, it sounds that way. Now, obviously, and I would be remiss if I didn't take advantage of this opportunity to raise this issue once again. The American Red Cross Disaster Services, their coffers were pretty much depleted going into this event because of the wildfires that they responded to in California, the flooding in the Midwest, the previous Hurricane Gustav and Tropical Storm Hannah, and now Hurricane Ike, which although only, and I say that guardedly, only a Category 2, was so widespread, it not only caused damage as it made landfall, but as it moved inland. The resulting rains caused for there to be flooding from as far away as St. Louis, Missouri, believe it or not. We are very happy to recognize that a number of Paltalkers have all this weekend been spinning tunes and raising money in the Hurricane Ike Disaster Relief Room in the special events section of Paltalk to try to help the American Red Cross replace some of that money that it has spent, the disaster services folks. And in fact, the American Red Cross on their own blog acknowledged those efforts. We thank the group called the Little Angels for doing that. James, you're part of that effort. How is that going so far?
Well, Gary, in the last 4 weeks, we have conducted three out of 4 weeks. We've done a fundraiser, and so the running total, as I understand it right now, is over $16,000 that's been raised. And I would also like to say, on the behalf of the Little Angels, I want to give a big thank you to you, Gary, and the rest of your staff here at Paltalk that has been